Hockey, where two guys talk about all things hockey. Honestly, I'm Tom, and he's Tom, and thanks for joining us today. So we got a cool one today.
We do.
We're going to be talking about some stupid stats.
Stupid. S-T-U-P-I-T exclamation point. Stupid.
Stats.
Yeah, stats.
So these are some stats that range from the 50s
to the 60s, to the 70s, to
the
today,
current.
to next year. Yep.
So we're going to start off with no order. It's not order, but we feel like this is like the...
We have no law and order in this studio.
Exactly. So we're going to start with the most goals given up in a season. One season. Yes. And that
82
honor
games.
belongs to the Washington Capitals, the 1974-75 Caps.
My favorite team of all time.
So after doing some research on this video, we noticed that the Caps in this year kind of just kept on coming up a lot.
So, and not for the good things you want to come up for.
Yeah, exactly. So we figured, let's make a video about them. But let's do this video first.
Yeah, so you guys are going to be seeing a 1974-75 Washington Capitals video on this channel very soon.
Yes, we're very excited. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
But let's get on to this one.
Yes.
So they allowed 446 goals in one season.
Yikes.
Holy guacamole.
Holy guacamole is right. They were not good at that thing we call defense.
Defense and just...
And tending.
And what happened to that goaltender?
Yeah, that goaltender probably quit hockey after that year.
I probably would.
I probably would too. Spoiler alert, one of their coaches on that team quit hockey.
Yes. And we'll talk about that next week.
Yes.
They allowed almost 6 goals per game. A game.
Their goals against was 5.58.
Yeah. That is nuts.
Can you imagine how many times a normal fan sees their team give up 6 goals a game? It's once, twice. If you're a really bad team, a couple more times. This team was doing it every night. Every night. Every night you got home, you're like, honey, I'm turning on the game.
Yeah. I'm expecting 6 goals against me.
1 goal scored in the first minute of the game, and then it's just all downhill from there.
Exactly. So then the least goals scored against a team in the season is the Leafs. The 1953-54 team, and they allowed 131 goals. Now, this was only on 70 games. But still impressive.
It's not 400 and a lot, 446.
Which is pretty bad.
Yeah. And, this number would seem pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
It seems like they're doing a good job playing defense.
And goaltending.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so for me, I have the longest win streak in NHL history. Belongs to the 92-93 Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes.
At 17 straight wins.
Yes. Which is impressive.
That's pretty impressive, considering how hard it is for some teams to win 1 game.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
And then 2 games in a row?
2 games in a row. And Buffalo again.
And then 3. Okay.
To win 17 in a row,
that's impressive. That's impressive. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's, the back-to-back, you had the Lemieux and the Yager, so it's pretty easy to win a couple of games when you have those two, but still, very impressive. Equally as impressive in my eyes, maybe even more impressive, is the 80-81 Winnipeg Jets / Arizona Coyotes franchise. The first iteration of their team had 30 straight losses.
Now, preface with the losses.
With the losses means they didn't win.
Yes.
So it means they could have tied.
Yes. So if it went to a tie or OT...
The longest losing streak belongs to our friends, the 74 Capitals.
Yes.
But, the Jets have the with the ties involved. Imagine not winning a game in 30 games.
Oh, jeez. And imagine getting the tease of going to being tied. Or OT, and you're like, oh my god, it's the chance we can actually win, and nothing. Because there has to be something in that. In 30 games, there has to be something like that.
Yeah, I want to see if they would have had the shootout involved in this area.
Okay, yes.
If they would have won. Because they probably would have just lost in the shootout, too. If they couldn't win in regulation, why do we think they could have won in the shootout?
I mean, like, after, like, 7 losses, you'd be like, yo, guys, we need to, like, focus and stuff like that.
Unless, counterpoint, what if every goal they scored in regulation was on a breakaway, and they had the greatest, like, breakaway guy in the history of the league?
Yeah.
So they were actually at a different disadvantage not being able to go into a shootout. They could have maybe won 30 straight games if they had that.
So moving on, so it's most losses in a season.
Yes.
So this is the San Jose Sharks, the 1992-1993. They played 84 games. When did they switch to 84 to 82? Call me, Greg.
Call us, Greg. I have a feeling, I think it was 95, but again, let us know because I was a little thrown off. Did not realize they had 84 game season.
When I was like, write that down, 84 games. And he's like, what? He's like, what was there 84 games?
Why did they just decide to knock it off by 2?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Call us. Somebody call us. Greg, anybody, Gary, somebody. Just call us with that information.
So you would think this would be the Caps, though. But no.
Our friends, the 74 Caps. No. Hint. They're second.
Yes. But the Sharks lost 71 games. They won 11. And they tied 2. So you can't even be like, oh, well, they tied 2. Like, or they tied more games. No, they tied 2. Nonetheless. Like, that could have been 73 losses.
Yeah. How is a team that inept?
I don't know.
Like, I get it. It also came in the same season
that dissolved the whole team.
Yeah, it came in the same season that the Pens won their 17th straight.
Yes.
I believe, right? 92-93?
Yes.
But, like, I don't think that says much because, like, they didn't really play them for all of those games.
Jesus.
But, like, to lose 71, that's an art. You have to just not care.
It is true. It is an art. It is an art. So the least losses belongs to the 96.
Least losses.
The least losses?
The least amount of losses.
Least amount of losses.
Now, I have to preface, this is different than the most amount of wins. So we can't just say the most wins because it's not.
Yeah.
This is the team that has lost the least amount of games in a season.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. It was the Canadiens in the 76-77.
Yep.
They were, again, 80 games. So they went from 80 to 84.
We don't
to
really
82.
have a great barometer of games played in consecutively.
Nice word.
Yeah, thank you. To figure this out, because apparently in all different years the NHL just played different amount of games. YOLO.
So they won 60 games. Wow. This could have been a lot more because they had 12 ties.
Yes.
Like, imagine if ties didn't exist.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And then 8 losses. Like, that's...
But maybe if ties didn't exist, they would have lost all 12 of those games.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
But, you know...
But still, it would have been...
Still, it would have been a good season. But,
yeah.
like, they wouldn't hold the record books for least amount of losses in a season.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I got the fun one to
You
talk
think
about.
so? I think I got the fun one.
Well, now...
You got the second to fun one.
All right. I
We can do the top one together.
No, because I think I had the most fun one.
Okay.
Most goals in a season.
Okay, I get... Yeah. Go ahead.
This one's interesting.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys at home one guess. Put it in the comment section below. Put it in now.
Because you guessed this correctly.
I did. Put your guess in now. Pause it. Put it in. And play. Okay.
And the funny thing is that when we tell you the stat later on, you weren't far off from guessing because of the stat that you're going to say.
Right. Most goals in a season belongs to none other than the 74-75 Washington Capitals. Oh, no.
Darn it, the wrong team.
The 83-84 Edmonton Oilers.
Yes.
One of the greatest teams, if not like the greatest team in NHL history. They scored 446 goals in the season. Now you may be saying, wait, Tom.
You said that already.
I heard that number before. Yes, you would be correct. You did. Because of our buddies.
The Caps.
The Caps, who gave up that amount of goals. So we figured out that the Caps
only played
Edmonton. And that's how they scored 446 and they gave up 400. Only logical explanation. They also, so number one all time is 446 goals.
Yeah.
But guess what? They also own number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're the only team in NHL history to score over 400 goals in a season.
Yeah.
The Bruins gave it a valiant effort. They were at 399. They couldn't have just found one more goal. I guarantee you they had a goal called back due to like offsides that year, and they couldn't get that 400. But yeah, only team in NHL history to score over 400 goals, and they did it five times.
That's that again. Yeah, I can't believe that. That is ridiculous. Like, imagine sitting there and you're like, man, what a great season, 400 goals. Man, what another great season, 400 goals. Yeah. And then you have to do that 3 more times and say that 3 more times.
And then, man, what a great season. We almost hit 450 goals.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to need someone to hit 500. NHL team, if you're watching this, hit 500.
Greg, maybe set something up.
Yes. And while they're at it, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one we have broken down into 2 parts.
Yeah, 2 parts.
2 parts.
Irish game announcer.
St. Patrick's Day is coming up.
That is true.
Least amount. The word least sounds like Leafs. It's very difficult to say.
Leafs.
The least amount of goals in a season.
Yeah.
Technically, is the Chicago Blackhawks of 53 and 54.
Yeah.
Who scored 133 goals in the season. Not great. No. But their silver lining to this is they had 1.9 goals scored per game.
Yeah.
So now we're looking for our modern day equivalency.
Yeah, because like the 53, I mean, like that's such a long time ago. So we figured let's put a modern day.
It should be easier to score goals nowadays. The players are bigger, faster, stronger, easier to score goals. The NHL put rules in to make it easier to score goals. Then tell that to our good friends up in Western New York, the Buffalo Sabres, because in 2013-14 they scored 150 goals over an 82-game schedule. The Blackhawks was not over 82.
No, it was not.
Again. Here's our issue with the amount of games played. And
I think it was 70.
Yeah, I think it was 70 also. And they had 1.83 goals a game, which is less than the 1.9 by the Blackhawks. Buffalo, what are you doing?
What were they doing that season? I don't remember that
What
season.
are they doing this season? They still can't score. They're the laughingstock of the NHL.
But still, like, what?
I don't know. Detroit, you narrowly escaped this. Because originally we were going to do an entire segment on the 2019-2020 Detroit Red Wings.
Until
but
I
saved you. I saved you, Detroit, because I said, wait a minute, that was a shortened season. That was last season. They only played 71 games. Granted, they still played more games than the Blackhawks did in that season, but I saved you, Detroit, and we went with Buffalo.
Yeah.
And still, you're both pathetic. But, like, you both stink. Next topic.
Jesus. So, I got the honor to do the most penalties in one single game.
Yes.
Now, this is beautiful.
Beautiful.
When we were going
gorgeous.
down, like, this is just...
This was like the stat that started the blossom of love of this video.
Yes. So, it's Oilers versus the Kings. It's February 28th, 1990.
Flashback.
LA won this game.
Yep. Wayne Gretzky was playing in this game.
And scored the winning goal.
As a member of the LA Kings.
They won 4-2. And there was 82 penalties
86
in this game.
penalties.
Sorry, 82, apologize. 86.
You're thinking about the amount of games played in the season now.
Yes.
This is just throwing us off. Thanks, NHL.
Maybe they should just start doing 86 games.
Sounds good to me. Just keep adding 2 games.
Penalties in one game.
One singular
game.
Three period hockey game.
Okay. LA had 41. The Oilers had 45. And the total penalty minutes, 356 penalty minutes.
Yes. Now, your neighborhood hockey fans over here would like to remind you guys that there's only 60 minutes in a hockey game. How many major penalties were taken in this game to get to 356 penalty minutes?
Well, I can tell you, it's 86.
Well, thank you. But no, because some of them could have been trips. And,
no, yes.
And,
so,
what was that one that you saw that they put? Didn't they put like an ing after one of them? It was I forgot what it was, but it was like a penalty that we don't hear called, and like they called it in that game. They just called everything.
Now there was
game.
one time there was 5 penalties scored in one time. So it was like, I think it was like maybe like the 1853 mark of the second period or something like that, and there was 5 goals, 5 penalties in that one time.
We need Wes McCauley to ref that game. 5 minutes for fighting!
Yeah.
83 times! 86 times!
Now, we figure let's do a modern day one on this one.
Right, because like, hey, who was alive in 1990? That was like 31 years ago.
Yeah, we weren't.
We weren't.
So we figured to put this one. It is the Pens versus the Isles. Mm-hmm. This was in 2011. This is ranked 7th in the whole NHL. There was a total of 65 penalties. Equally impressive here.
Equally impressive. And I know a lot of people remember this game,
yes,
especially Islander fans, because we just passed the anniversary of this game,
yeah.
and it was all over Twitter.
Yeah, I mean they obliterated them basically 9-3.
Yeah.
Isles had 34 of them, and the Pens had 31, totaling 346 minutes. Holy frick! And then if you sit there and think about it, the Kings game and the Oilers game was 356. They were 346. So you know how many majors were in that game of the Isles game?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
That just, like...
Well, I mean, I'm 99% sure that game started off with a full line brawl. So there's a bunch of your penalty minutes right there.
Yeah, but, like, still, like, that is ridiculous.
Yes.
This one was a fun one to do.
This one, we found out a lot of stupid stats.
Maybe that should be our segment.
Stupid stats.
Stupid stats.
I like it.
And then you also had one stat that you wanted to go over.
Yes.
Because this is what kind of sparked it all. Like, just one stat of...
Well, there was actually two stats.
Okay.
The first one was New Jersey Devils broadcasting legend Ken Danico.
Yes.
Scored a goal, and then he went, 256 games before scoring his next goal. That's... like three seasons worth of not scoring a goal. Like, even Tanner Glass scored more goals than that. Love you, Tanner.
Yes.
And then my second one was, I forget the guy's name. I'll put the story up here. Won the Stanley Cup with the Avs. Mm-hmm. And then this guy, he wore number 25, I believe, as his jersey number. So he's like, I gotta honor this. I'm so jacked up. I just won the Stanley Cup. I'm gonna stay in my hockey gear for 25 straight hours. The man's played a full game of hockey, went home, drank with the cup, went home, slept in his jersey, and full pants and everything. Woke up the next morning like, I'm still in my stuff. Mike, jeez. Can you imagine how bad that guy smelled?
Oh, God, forget it.
All right, I don't want to think about it. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Honest Hockey. Be sure to give us a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to
crush that
subscribe button. I'm Tom. He's Tom. These are some stupid stats. Thanks for joining us today.
See ya.
Surprised Columbus doesn't have the record for the least amount of goals on the season.
No, that's their jerseys.
Right. The worst jerseys in the league. Got it.